channel. This is Heike and you're watching Stone Cold Coffee Crafts. And since the boyfriend just sat down in the living room and decided to put on Wonder Vision, I thought it would be a good time to sit down myself and try and record this voiceover for you. I have recorded me diamond painting, I think in the week of the 8th of January actually. This is the painting I worked on in January, which was called All Dogs Go to Heaven. It's a Diamond Art Club artwork by Mandie Manzano. And I am still pretty much in the bottom half of the painting. You can see my left hand there lying on the clouds, and yeah, I wasn't very far along when I did that. I initially intended to submit this for Mrs. Coffee's playlist of live of WIP chats she had for January, but yeah, I didn't come around to record this voiceover before the 15th, obviously. So that's where we are now. Yeah. Guys, where did January go? I have literally no idea. It was like the new year. I went back to work and then January was over. I had literally recorded zero. Well, that's not true. I have recorded a bunch of unboxings and this WIP Chat, quite obviously, but I have not edited and uploaded a single thing, let alone voice over this behemoth of 1 hour, 4 minutes and 54 seconds. If this is by any chance shorter than that, then I ran out of things to talk about and sped up the footage, which might happen. Let's be honest. I know I'm a chatterbox, but I am not very good at WIP chats, which is why there are so few on my channel. Jeez, it is like 10 p.m. right now, and English is not my friend tonight, it seems. Anyway, where was I getting with that? Oh yeah, so I literally have no idea what happened, to be honest. I knew when I went back to work that I did not feel like I had recharged my batteries at all, which is ridiculous because I was on vacation for a whole month. My last day of work was December 4th, and my first day back at work was January 4th. So I have no idea how this can even be possible, but it happened. And yeah, it has continued this way. Usually January is the month of the year where things are still extremely quiet and only taking off very slowly. Not this year. I hit the ground running and running fast, and yeah, that's how it's been for the last month, to be completely honest with you. It's been crazy. The good news is I now am finally, after a whole year of waiting for it, finally officially part of the project management team of my company. I have now officially a new boss, so at least this is completely right now. Now we have to get back into things like train your new project managers before you let them loose on customers, because I'm still here waving like mad saying, please, give me some training. I'm good with the internal stuff, but I also have a customer, and I've had that customer for a year now. And especially since last October, we haven't done a very good job, and it is, as per my job description, now my fault if this happens because I am managing this mess more or less. There are so many problems going on, and I can't get too deep into it because, you know, confidential and stuff, and you don't put too much details of your work on the internet and things like that. So there's not much I can say about that, but basically the way I feel now is not unique to the people in my company, and the guys I'm working with have, I think, reached breaking point, all of them at the same time, which is not good if it happens in the middle of the grind part of a project. Although I have to say, this is the weirdest customer ever, because every single year it seems they have a major project running over the Christmas New Year period, with January 6 being the delivery date, the big date. So I don't know who came up with that. It's not a good idea. It might be different in other parts of the world, but here in Germany, basically, if you are not in retail or in the medical field or anything like that, work pretty much shuts down. I would say a couple of days before Christmas hits until at least New Year, but mostly until the first week of January is over, because that's as long as school vacation lasts. So I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but they did it in 2020, because that's when I took over the project at the end of January, when all this madness was over, and they did it again this year. It went okay-ish, but it was not pretty. It was not pretty at all. So I am desperately trying to remember where I left off with pretty much keeping you in the loop what's going on. I don't know if I've talked about the 2 appointments we had in December with the boyfriend's doctors. So we had the first appointment on, I think, December 9th. That was in the hospital, where he stayed for 2 weeks in September, and the results of that appointment were not good. They were not good at all. I think the only positive, and I use that word very loosely in that context, that came out of that appointment was that they told him, we are not going to put you on the organ transplant waiting list yet. Yeah, that's not something you want to hear. It also didn't quite fit what the cardiologist, I hope that's the right word in English, it's the one in German, so I hope that's right, told him that he went to after I badgered him that he should have regular checkup outside of his hospital appointments. So he went to that doctor, I think end of October, beginning of November, and she told him that she could see an improvement in his heart efficiency rate. He is right now, he was very, very seriously heart insufficient when he was admitted to the hospital. His heart efficiency rate was at 16%, I think it was. It was ridiculously low. Heart insufficiency starts at 35, I think. 35 and below. So when he had that first appointment with the non-hospital doctor, she told him he was back at 30%, which was quite the improvement. He's of course on a ton of medication, so we were hoping for some kind of improvement. So that looked good. And then he went back on December 9th, and that doctor told him that his heart efficiency was actually at 25%. So that made no sense whatsoever to him, because he didn't feel worse than roughly 6 weeks before. When he had that other appointment, he actually felt better, so he expected improvement, or at least not to be worse than he was in October, November. So yeah, that was not good. Again, due to all these pestilences going on right now, I was not allowed to go with him, so I have no idea what was actually said, what was done. Completely out of the loop, and relying on what he tells me, which is how do I put it? I love this man, but trying to get information out of him concerning himself and things people told him, no matter if in person or on the phone, is... I could talk to a wall and would get more information. Yep. So yeah, I like to go with him to this type of thing, because then at least I know what is going on. Anyway, that nice doctor in the hospital already also told him that he needed to get a permanent defibrillator implanted. He had been wearing a vest since he left the hospital in September, and this was always something that I expected to happen, because the diagnosis from the hospital was a heart disease that was not curable. And from everything I read about it, my sister-in-law, who is a doctor, sent me some links to read. And from everything I read there, it was pretty much a given that he would get a permanent defibrillator implanted at some point, because all the reading material said not to expect some major improvement. But he, for I think quite obvious reasons, didn't want to go there quite yet, so he had quite a lot of hope I didn't have, I'll be honest here. And yeah, that crushed him when he got this news. They also scheduled everything to happen in January. So I told him, I spoke to him several times about getting a second opinion before that, but I told him when he came back from that appointment, well, the only thing you can do right now is call the heart center in Frankfurt. We picked that one because that is 2 hours away from us, and it's actually where we are from. And we know this hospital quite well. My aunt had been treated there last year, and my sister-in-law had worked there for some time when she was still at university, becoming a doctor. So we trusted them to probably give us a good second opinion we could rely on. So he finally listened to me. Woohoo, mark it in your calendars. He called this hospital and he actually got an appointment pretty quick. I was surprised how quick. So that was on, don't let me lie here, I think 18th of December was the day when he had that appointment again. At first I thought I would be able to go with him, but then hard lockdown hit us a few days before, so I had to stay home. He went there, had to wait for quite a long time because he was actually late. There was a lot of traffic going on that day because there was a lot of fog and stuff like that. Like always, if you have something to go to, poop just happens. It did that day as well, so he was late for his appointment. I called the hospital and told them he would be late, and then they quite obviously forgot to try to slip him in between a couple of other patients, so he had to wait, I think, for nearly 3 hours. And yeah, then finally a little Christmas miracle happened, because that doctor that he got there looked at everything the other doctors had done and checked again herself, did all the things, and then she said, well, I don't know why the hospital told you you have disease XYZ, but that's not true. I can see that you had an inflammation in your heart. I can still see proof of that in the pictures. But your heart has actually improved again. You are at 38% now, and I am expecting with the right medication, you will probably regain quite a bit of your heart efficiency at some point. So he won't probably get back to what he used to be, but he doesn't need the defibrillator any longer, and no surgery, no future, and also no uncurable hereditary disease in our family, which is quite the relief, to be honest. So he has been doing well since then. I think that was the pick me up he needed. He has more energy. I mean, he's still, compared to what he used to be, he still tires quite easily, but it's nothing compared to September. Really nothing. We live on the first floor, so we have a couple of flights of stairs to go up to our apartment, and that killed him in September. It was too much for him to do that. I still remember that first day he came home from the hospital. He stood at the bottom of the stairs, looked at it, and literally said, "Hello, my nemesis." And then, yeah, he climbed it like a 100-year-old man. That has improved quite a lot, and he is doing much, much, much better. He has to take a ton of medication, of course. He will have to take that for quite a while. I expect some of that he will have to take probably infinitely. I have no idea. See, that's the problem when you can't go to any appointments, and yeah. But what I am trying to say with this is actually thank you so much to all of you, because I know so many of you have kept us in your thoughts and have sent prayers and good vibes and all that stuff, and I felt it. I know that sounds cheesy, but knowing that people cared helped me a lot. And I don't know if he feels the same. I did, of course, not tell him how much I had told you about all that stuff. I'm assuming he would feel very weird about that. But yeah, it helped a lot, and thank you so, so, so much. I hope that from here on out it will be mostly good news. My fingers crossed, and I guess yours too, because you have all been so amazing about that. But I have hope. We have actually hope. We have another follow-up appointment in Frankfurt on the 25th. We hope that then they will see more improvement again, and hopefully he will be able to go back to work maybe in March, April. He's ready. He's bored. He's bored and I'm fed up. So I know he won't go back full time right away, because that's just not possible. Being a physical therapist is just too exhaustive to go right back to it after something like this. But I think it would be good if he could at least do half days or something like that. Anything to get him out of the house, honestly. I get worried when he starts cleaning and cooking. Not that I don't like it, because I've had so much work in January, but I get worried. Also, I'm getting jealous because he's the cat's new favorite. I get it. He can spend much more attention to her when he is at his computer playing his games. He usually just needs his right hand so she can cuddle up to him and put her head down on his left hand and, yeah, be all happy and purry. And I tend to ignore her for the first half of the day because I have to earn the tuna. She doesn't accept that argument. I wonder what she would say when the tuna was all gone. Yeah, so that's the update on the boyfriend, and I hope no more news like that in this year. That being said, there's other family drama going on with health, so things are not getting boring. No one has caught the beer bug, thankfully. Well, we think that my cousin had it all the way back last year in March, because end of February, beginning of March, he came down with what he thought was really bad cold. But now he thinks that it might have been the beer bug because the symptoms fit quite well. But other than that, so far, I think we are good in my family. My grandmother got her first vaccination shot on January 13th, and she should get the second one on Friday, I believe. Is Friday the 5th? Yeah, Friday is the 5th. So that's when she should get the second one, which was quite the relief. And now I'm waiting for my parents because my father is also already 75, and yeah, I would feel better if he would get vaccinated soon. I'm actually quite relieved that he is not trying to not do it. We were a bit afraid because he can be a bit mule-headed about things, and I know that he, for example, never gets a flu shot. But I think he has understood that what's going on right now is quite different from just the flu. So he is being a reasonable person. Thank goodness. Yeah. Oh, and this is all so stupid. We got a letter a couple of days ago from the government. They gave everyone who was eligible, which means either in a certain age range or with pre-existing conditions that fit a certain framework, free FFP2 masks in January, and also basically vouchers like your food stamps in the US, for example, that give you, I think, 6 masks per month at the price of €2, which is quite cheap. And he never got that. We asked our doctor, and she said, well, he probably doesn't qualify with his illness for that. And then a couple of days ago, that stupid letter arrived. Yeah, on Saturday it arrived. On Saturday, which was January 30th. Yeah, it arrived to tell us that he was eligible to pick up these 2 free masks until January 6th. Good job, government, good job. But at least he got these vouchers now that he can use to buy more of these masks for a much lower price, because these things are expensive. I mean, so far we have been lucky enough that we can just wear the normal medical masks, but they are trying to stop the spread of the mutations, so they are going into more and more hard lockdowns now. Yeah. But this was just crazy, crazy stuff when they told him he was not sick enough to qualify for that. Excuse me, please. I mean, yeah. But let's talk about something happier, I think, because all this drives me just crazy. Oh, something I wanted to start out with and completely forgot. Jeez, where's my brain? Yesterday I got an amazing gift from one of you, and I don't know who it was. They gave it to me anonymously, but you know who you are, and I would like to say thank you so much. You completely floored me. I stared at that email and thought, what? What is happening? And then I read your lovely message, and yeah, you actually made me tear up a little. So I asked them to tell you thank you, but I'm also, of course, not just going to ignore it. So thank you very much. You know who you are. It is so much appreciated, and I am so happy that you're enjoying all that stuff I'm putting out. I promise I'll try to do my best to put out more in February. That being said, please don't worry about me. I know I'm right now very, very, very tired. My energy level is super low. One of you mentioned that I should take my vitamin D pills, and you're probably right. I need to get that stuff because I am a cave dweller on a good day, but I literally don't leave my house right now. I haven't left my house for the better part of a year. So I wouldn't be surprised if I did blood work now if I had zero vitamin D in me. Well, I would be surprised because then I probably shouldn't be alive. But I think that is one of the issues I am facing right now. I don't feel especially sad or depressed or anything, but just so demotivated to do anything. And by the time I've made my way through a full day of work, basically my brain is ready to shut down. So I guess this energy level is just not normal under any condition. So yes, I'm going to look into that, and I'm trying to get some of that stuff into my system and see if it maybe improves things. Someone else mentioned it sounds like burnout. It could be, but honestly, I think end of 2019, that's more what I would expect burnout to feel, what I experienced then. Right now, it's just it's hard to put into words. I am trying to look after myself is what I'm trying to say, so please don't worry. Also, I'm not putting myself under super much pressure to put out videos, as you probably have noticed by what I did not put out in January. So that's not that. It's just really that I started this channel for fun, and it is fun. It has never been not fun for me, which is why it's so weird that I couldn't bring myself to do anything for the better part of 4 weeks, except for that one day where I tried my best to record all these unboxings I have to do. And yeah, I managed to get halfway through the stack of paintings I have to unbox, and then I felt like I had run a marathon. I haven't listened back to these recordings, but if I have a feeling I'm going to sound short of breath because that's how I felt. And you know, standing in front of your table and unboxing a diamond painting should not feel like you are running a marathon. But yeah, that's how it felt like. I don't know what's up with my voice. I have not talked much today, so that's not what's going on here. But I'm taking a sip of water. Maybe that will help. Not to sound that husky. So what else is new? See, now we have empty brain syndrome again. I haven't stitched in a few weeks. That's also not thing. Well, honestly, I haven't done anything but diamond paint. I have finished this one quite obviously. And at first I thought I wouldn't make it because I couldn't motivate myself to work on it for quite some time. And then I finished it in record time. That's how my weird brain works. And then I actually pulled out my longest going WIP, which is one of my custom paintings that I am not going to show on my Instagram or on my YouTube channel. But right after I finished this one, and by the time January was over, I finished it on the 30th, I had finished that custom painting. It was a 65 by 80 centimeter round custom diamond painting, and I had finished about 30 of the 80 centimeters, so 30 by 65 roughly, by the time I had finished this painting. And when did I finish this painting? I can't even remember anymore, but I have a list, so let's check that list. I used to be super organized about this, but I stopped keeping my list up to date in 2020, which is not such a big problem because I didn't buy a whole lot in 2020 except for December when I went completely bonkers. Let's see, All Dogs Go to Heaven. I finished that on the 23rd. So between the 24th then and the 30th, I finished about 50 by 65 centimeter of that custom painting, and it's done now. I had started that one in April 2019, so I'm glad that this is done. I'm right now down to 2 WIPs. The first one is the new diamond painting of the month, which if you haven't seen that video yet, go back to February 1st. It is Camelia's Heart by Diamond Shop. It's a piece of art by Sybil Art, and I have started this for my new theme, which is roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. And the second painting I have on the go right now is this small bird painting from diamondpaintingfactory.co.uk. So that is pretty good. And once the bird is done, I will actually start on the Josephine Wall painting from Diamond Painting Deutschland. I have to go back to this unboxing video because I've seen quite a few comments roll in January with questions about it. So I'm going to work on this behemoth of a painting in parallel to my Diamond Painting Theme of the Month paintings. I'm going to finish my theme of the month painting first, and all the rest of the month I am going to work on this Josephine Wall painting until it is done. I don't really expect to get it done before the end of the year, to be honest, because that thing has, what, 275 colors or something like that, and it is 100 by 75 centimeter, if I remember correctly, and square diamonds. So that is going to be super crazy bonkers to do. But I want to get a go at it because a lot of you have been very interested about this painting. Yeah, so that is the long-term plan for this year, I guess. A few have asked, yes, I have planned out all the month for this year, so DP theme of the month will for sure run through 2021, and I fully expect it to carry it over to 2022, unless I completely lose interest in diamond painting, which would be catastrophic if I look at my stash. Yeah, woohoo, look at me, I finished all the black. There's so much black in this painting. Also, this painting is a good example for what I always talk about when I say I don't use multi-placers unless for super dark paintings. So in this case, you will see me use multi-placers, I think, through most of this, because this is all dark colors, and the dark colors don't look so wonky when I use a multi-placer. Yeah, I'm using that multi-placer again. I think I used it for most of what you see there, maybe even the whole section, I don't know, because there's only very little light colors going on, only this little bit of light blue there in the left half, where you probably can see the symbols H and A, and that were some lighter blues, but nothing as light as that cream colored cloud, for example. That is all single placed. Because for the light colors, at least I always tend to see when someone used a multi-placer, not just me, because you can see a certain pattern and often the beats don't line up, and then it irritates my eye. I'm weird. That is pretty much the running theme of dealing with me. I'm weird. So I'm not being judgy when I say things like that. It's just that this is something that triggers my inner monk. I don't know. I'm actually not OCD. I don't have any OCD habits, but I found in diamond painting I want my drills to look very neat because you actually can see it. I know that quite often people say, well, if you are further away, yes, in light colors you can see it, no matter how far away you are, unless you need new glasses, then maybe not. But and it's not the end of the world, but it's, like I said, something that triggers my inner monk. So I try to not do that. I mean, I'm doing this for fun. It's not a race, so I can take the time to do single placing, right? I really have no idea how you can listen to something like this. I'm pretty much talking about nothing right now, which is mostly because I forgot what I wanted to talk about, I think. It couldn't have been all boyfriend and health issues and complaining about work. Speaking about work, I think I made a new friend. There's another project manager whom I talked with on our team calls. We have a just chatter call each Wednesday, and we have a no management allowed call with all the project managers to exchange some information and maybe ask questions we don't want management to be involved in, so people speak more freely. And during those calls, there are sometimes shenanigans going on, and I guess because I teased right back when he teased others, I made an impression on him. Because pretty much the first thing that happened on my first day back of work was that he wanted to have a chat, and he has now included me as his co-host basically for this no management allowed call, which surprised me because he already had one, but I guess that guy didn't want to do it any longer. It's a little bit of extra work, but yeah, mostly for him. I will have to step in if he is on vacation and stuff like that, but mostly it's work for him. Which is fine because he right now has one project and I have four. Why the heck do they give the untrained project manager four projects? Sometimes I think I have this special talent to fake it until I make it, because I just got the fourth one last Friday and the customer specifically requested me as the PM for that. It's a small thing. It's only supposed to last like 2 to 3 weeks and it should be fine. But when I heard that, I thought, oh, how am I supposed to do that? We will get there. Anyways, yes, I was talking about that I haven't stitched a whole lot, have I? Well, today I'm recording this voiceover on February 1st. Two of my stitch-alongs have dropped new parts. So part 6 of the Dark Queen of the Seas has released, as well as part 2 of the There's No Planet B by Clouds Factory, and both are amazing. There's No Planet B this month is going to be Sea Otter and Black Rhino, and they are so cute. I thought about starting today, but still the energy level is nowhere to be found, so I didn't. And I think for the Dark Queen, I might actually follow the idea that Leslie and Cassandra had and order some DMC Etoile instead of it's mostly black stitches this month, black and some 823, and I might order those two etoiles. I'm not quite sure yet. But I think I'll sleep on it, and probably I'll do the Clouds Factory first because that's smaller and a bit of more fun stitching, I guess. The Dark Queen looks amazing, but it's A lot of work, and B, the drops always look deceivingly small and then they take ages. So I think I'm going to tackle the Planet B first. And then on the 15th, it is time for more Animal Crossing. So I'm really looking forward to that. I can't wait to see what he will release next. And speaking of which, I have been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. That seems to be another thing I can do once my brain shuts down from work. So that has been my main post-work activity, and I'm looking forward to the February 15th event, which is going to be Festivale, I think it's called in English. I found that super annoying in the New Leaf game. My first Animal Crossing I played was Wild World, and then I moved on to New Leaf. And I found Festival to be super annoying. I don't know why, but this bird was just, it killed me. So I hope it will be less annoying in this iteration of the game, but at least the items you can buy and get from him during the event are much, much more interesting. I've created a beach section in part of my town where two of my villagers live. I've been super lucky with my villagers. I've found two of the new ones that don't have amiibo cards while villager hunting. I don't know how familiar you are with the game, but if a villager moves out from your island and you have an open spot, you can travel to islands and you will find villagers camping there, and it's random. And there are a few villagers that have been released with this game that don't have amiibo cards yet. So those are usually the rarest, most sought after characters. And I was super lucky the first time I went and did a villager hunt, which means you get a lot of Nook Mile tickets and then you travel to islands until you find a villager that you like and invite them to your island. The first time I did that, I gave myself exactly 10 Nook Mile tickets, and I told myself either I'm going to pick one of these 10 or I just let someone move in randomly. And I was super lucky because on my 10th ticket I found Audie. Audie is a fox character and she is one of the new released characters without an amiibo, and she's super adorable. So I moved her in. And then in my next villager hunt, I allowed myself quite a few more tickets because I had saved up on Nook Miles by then and could buy more tickets. I found Renee. That's a horse character, and she's also one of the new ones without an amiibo card. And I had already put her on my list as my favorite. The character type is called Big Sister, so each character or each villager has a character type, and there are 8 different ones. Yep, 8 different ones, and I try to have one of each at least. You have to have some duplicates because you have 10 villagers, but I try to have one of each. And I had picked her out as my dreamy big sister. So because her house has this beachy wicker furniture vibe going on, and I thought that would actually fit Audie quite well. And I'm putting my villagers in pairs mostly, and then build a bit of environment around them. I found her. Super lucky. So these two are actually now neighbors close to my actual beach, and I have extended the beach around their houses, and I've built some shelf furniture and stuff like that to put out there, and the new Festivale furniture, to get all the way back where I started with this tangent, is actually quite beachy to me because it has this Brazilian carnival feeling. So I am using that to decorate their part of the island even further. And I'm going to, my furniture turned out to be blue. It depends on what color your airport is. If you get red, green, blue, or purple, and I think I'm going to change the color of that to green. I think it would fit their houses a little bit better. But to do that, I have to wait for the 15th because the event is actually time locked, and there will be an update right before February 15th to unlock the event, and then I can actually catch the feathers that you need to change the furniture color and stuff like that. Deep dive into Animal Crossing. But I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, but that's like another 2 weeks. Long time to wait. I actually played ahead to see if this was also locked. They only started locking the events since Halloween. But yeah, this one is also locked. So I have played ahead to February 15th. I hit February 15th right before I sat down to record this. And yeah, just a normal day before the update hits. But I think I'm going to keep playing ahead a little to see if I can buy more of the festival furniture, because I can't purchase this through the items catalog. So I have to get my hands on all I can get now. And the furniture appears randomly in the shop, so I can't really say I want to have more of this. I have to wait until it turns up, and then I can buy exactly one piece per day. I'm trying to stock up on certain pieces because some you don't need more than one and some you need more than one. Yeah, and then on the big day you can exchange feathers for more furniture too, which is always neat. And then the next day is probably Bunny Day. Although not quite. I think they are going to release Mario items for Mario Day, which is March 10th, I think. And then, of course, there's the 1 year anniversary. The game released on March 20th, and I think for the 26th, they might have had something planned, because they announced a few days ago that they are going to reprint the amiibo cards for their Sanrio collaboration, which they did for New Leaf and Pocket Camp, where they turned Sanrio characters like Hello Kitty and what were the others called? I don't know the English names. They have six Sanrio characters, like the little bunny and stuff like that, that they turned into Animal Crossing characters with furniture and everything. Furniture, clothing. It looks really good. And this game desperately needs more good furniture. New Leaf had so much furniture, and New Horizon just doesn't have that. And it's also very repetitive what you find in your own shop. I'm trying to get I don't know if it is called wicker furniture. I'm going to call it that now. I don't know the English name. My game is in German. I'm trying to get that in white, and I basically never find it in my shop. It's so annoying. So freaking annoying. Yeah, first world problems, but I want that white furniture. And there were so many furniture series that are just no longer there. I mean, some stuff they switched out is quite great, because the Halloween stuff, the Christmas stuff, yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. But in the new game, it's actually fantastic because it's mostly outdoor stuff. And since you can decorate your outdoors now, which is a lot of fun, I was all for that. My island is still 50% Halloween. I need to work on that. That being said, I want to start a new island, and I'm so annoyed with Nintendo that you can't have more than one island per Switch. You literally have to buy a second Switch or Switch Lite and a second copy of the game to have a second island. I was that crazy person that had, I think, 3 different villages for New Leaf. But that was just buying the cartridges, which were like 20 euros at that point. So that's still crazy, but not so crazy. I want to try a second island. I do not want to buy a second Switch. Dang it, Nintendo. Yeah, like I said, first world problems, but at least it made me talk for like 15 minutes or so. But long story long, I'm really looking forward to what the second drop will look like. I don't think you saw... No, you can't, because that dropped on the 15th. I have to record either FlossTube or Crafty Chat this week. The first drop was Timmy and Tommy, the two raccoons that own the shop, and they were so stinking cute. But let's just say his warning about the fractional stitching, yeah, take that seriously, because that is a thing. It really is a thing. So I have no idea how people stitch something like this on 18 count either. And there are people who do it. I don't know how. Yeah. So, plans. Maybe let's talk about some plans. Like I mentioned, I purchased a lot of stuff in December. I purchased 6 Diamond Art Club paintings. Well, not all in December. Some of those were Black Friday. And I purchased 6 Diamond Shop canvases. Also, not all of them in December, but nearly all of them. So I have unboxed about half of that. I need to sit down and edit those now. I plan to release like one per week. I know that some people don't like seeing unboxings done weeks in the past, but honestly, nothing has changed. These paintings are mostly still available. I think I only have one that Diamond Art Club has discontinued, and that is now also gone. And yeah, sorry about that. I'm still going to show it. But I don't want to post unboxing after unboxing after unboxing. It would probably give me crazy views, because the unboxings are still what is viewed the most after WIP Chats, I think. So I could do that, but I don't think that this is fun. Also, I want to get back into the routine of doing the crafty chats, because I miss those. Stitching plans are quite unsurprisingly working on my stitch-alongs, finishing the Queen and finishing the Planet B, and by the time I have done that, it is probably time to finish the Animal Crossing. And then for the rest of the month, I hope I can get back to some of my WIPs. I feel the yoga corns right now. I really want to do a yoga corn. Maybe it's because it's these fun pastel colors, and it's right now it's very gray and either raining or snowing depending on how cold it is on any given day. So maybe that's why I crave to do some pastel colored ponies. I think the next one I'm going to do is a pink one too, or maybe purple. Purple would be great. So maybe I'll try and do that in the second half of February. And then there's knitting. I want to do so much knitting, and I'm so slow with knitting, and I'm still working on the Sharon Show shawl. I have made a bit of progress on that, not a whole lot, but I've finished section 3 of 6, so I'm now in the 4th section, and I really wanted to finish this by the 19th, but then I did not knit for the last 10 days or so, so I don't know if I can actually manage that. Because I have purchased a yarn kit from Yarnworks in the UK. They are the exclusive suppliers for Emma's yarn in Europe, it seems, at least as far as I could glean from the Emma's Yarn homepage, and I bought a kit for another Casapinka shawl that's going to be released on the 19th. Well, I have to wait and see if I actually have my yarn by then. Yarnworks has taken pre-orders until yesterday, and it seems that they are positive that they can get the yarn in and shipped at least to their UK customers in time for the pattern drop on the 19th. But I am not in the UK, and Brexit actually has happened, and it has slowed down mail somewhat. Not crazy, but depending on the shop, it actually either takes the same amount of time. I just got a package from Hedgerow Yarns, which was here within the same amount of time than it usually is, or it can take 3 times as long as it used to, which was the case for my Felt Fusion order I put in at the end of December it was, and that arrived like 5 days ago or so. That took a long time. So I'm not quite positive if I'll actually have the yarn by the 19th. But then again, it's not a knit-along, so it doesn't matter if I have it in time. I don't have to pressure myself to start that anyway. Well, I never would. As seen with the Sharon shawl, which I think started a week or 2 late, knowing me. I'm a procrastinator, what can I say? Yeah, but that's another plan, and then I found a free pattern for a loop cowl that I actually would like to start even before that, because right now I would love to just knit something in the round. I enjoy knitting in the round because most of the time, unless I have to do it for a texture pattern, I don't have to purl in the round. So I enjoy that a lot. So I might actually wind up my yarn tonight and start that maybe tomorrow, just to be a naughty girl, because I didn't want to start anything before I had finished anything else. And quite obviously, rules are made to be broken. But that's a thought, because that's actually what my Hedgerow yarn order was for. So that has arrived. So now I want to start. Okay, I'm literally running out of things to say, but I only have a few more minutes left, so let's see how we can manage to stretch this out. I'm tired, guys. In case you haven't noticed, I'm slowly but surely falling asleep here talking. If I sound drunk, I'm sorry, I'm not. It's crazy right now. I don't know if it's me getting older or if time really has morphed this much. Because I don't understand how a month can feel at the same time 2 seconds and 1 year long. That was exactly what January was. But let's not complain about January again. January is in the past. It's in the past. So what have you planned at the moment? How are things going for you? Is your country in lockdown? How is the vaccination going for you? I'm curious about that, because I fully expect that I have to wait probably until June, July before I will feel safe again to leave the house. So talk to me about what is going on in your neck of the woods. Is it better than here? I might move there. I really might. Isn't it crazy? I haven't seen my family in 13 months now. I did video calls with my grandmother on Christmas. Did I talk about that? Because when it became clear that we would not go anywhere for Christmas, I kept thinking if it was an option, and then I asked my mother, and she said, well, yeah, they've been doing these video call things. Then she talked to the people in the care home, and they told her, well, we can give you the Wi-Fi password, and then you can just use your phone for that. No problem at all. We did a test call, and my grandmother was hooked. She was so hooked. She was so happy because for the first time ever she could actually see Lola and Nelly as well. She has never seen them because she lives, I've mentioned that before, over 300 kilometers away from here, and she can't make the travel anymore. Even if my parents would bring her here, it's too much to do in one day. There's no possibility for her to sleep here and to go with her to a hotel. It's all no. It's just no. So she's never seen the cats, unless it was on pictures. And this video call, she was so happy because you know Lola, she's always up in my face, and the cats they hate it if my phone is on speaker. They hate it with a passion. I have a feeling it's hurting their ears, how it comes out of the speakers, because they complain and they really hate it. I guess it's just the tinny sound it makes, I don't know. But it also guarantees that they are both up in my face, and that's what they did, and she was ecstatic about that. I was a bit surprised that we haven't done a video call since, but I guess that's my mother interfering, because when she visits my grandmother, it's usually the middle of the day when I have to work. But I have to talk to her and arrange for something to happen on a weekend when she does her next weekend visits. They split those. So my grandmother has 6 kids, and 4 of them live in close vicinity to her care home, and they split up weekends. So that not the same child has to go each and every weekend, which would be my mother, if you hadn't guessed that yet. So yeah, I have to check with her when her next weekend is, and then we have to arrange for something. But still, I would really like to have at least one visit in person this year. It would be a nice change. Anyways, that was more depressing stuff. It seems like I can only do this depressing right now. It's probably a good thing. This is nearly over. So, silence is golden, brain is dead. 3 more minutes to go. Oh, something I wanted to start this year and I still haven't. Big surprise, is the drawing thing. So I have to get back and see if I can get myself to at least start out on that, because that is a crafty goal I would really like to achieve, to teach myself some type of sketching or drawing. I don't expect myself to turn into an artist, but it's just something I like to challenge myself with. It's last year it was the knitting. This year I decided it should be the drawing, and let's see what I come up with next year. Maybe crochet, because I'm horribly bad at that. I don't know why. My tension in knitting is very loose, but in crochet I just pull tight. And I don't know how to avoid that. So if you have any tips at all, I would be open to that. I don't intend to start anything like that this year at least, but I think I talked about this before. My grandmother does amazing stuff. She does filet crochet, I think it's called, and I would really like to pick that up and keep that going, because none of us does it, and it's going to die with her one day. And I find this so sad, so I really would like to pick that whole thing up and give it a try. But to do that, I need to learn how to crochet simple stuff first. And I am completely unable to do that, so if you have any tips at all. My main problem seems to be the tension, because I try to do this. I don't know if you know that the Mai Boshi, I don't know if that has actually crossed the pond, but it's basically crocheting simple stuff like hats and stuff with quite a thick yarn. I would say it's probably worsted weight or our Aaron weight. I tried that. It was a disaster. Anyway, guys, our time is nearly up. This was very, very rambly and full of tangents, but I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and we shall talk again soon. Bye, guys.